guys, welcome to Dide's Crafty Corner. Today I'm sharing with you a little haul that I made of just one product. I was in the market to get some more watercolor type colors, right? And I have my watercolor separated by grade, I guess you could say. So my higher grades, my Daniel Smiths, are in one palette, and then I have a few what I would call medium grades, and then I have a few that are just, lower grade, beginner kind of watercolors. And I had wanted to add to the total mixes. I don't even know if I can explain that right. I wanted to add more color to my set. And as I was looking at ways to do that, this popped up. So these are not new. These have been out for quite a long time. And when I thought about getting these back a couple of years ago when they were very, very popular, I decided instead that I would purchase the distress markers. So I have all of the distress markers. And I picked up those. I did the distress markers because they were, dual-ended. They mixed with water, and they went with all of my distress colors I already had. So that's why I went with the distress colors, right? Because it kind of matched what I was already doing. Now, going forward a couple of years, and I'm very much into watercolor. I mean, extremely into watercolor, actually. And I enjoy card making, period. But I truly enjoy the art of just sitting down and watercoloring and doing it in layers and seeing what comes of it. Whether I like it at the end or not, it's still actually just a beautiful process, and it makes me happy to do it. So with that being said, I wanted to find new ways to do it outside of just my pans of color, right? So that's where these came into play. They were coming up in my news feed, of my search feed when I was looking for them. And so I started doing some research online, and I started doing some research on different YouTube videos. And what I liked about them was the fact that they have a hard enough tip on them so that you can do lettering, but also you can use them on rubber stamps as well. It's a big tip, but it is here we go getting inky again, but whatever. It's a hard tip, guys. Do you see that? Hardly any move at all. It's a very hard tip. Whereas my Zig Real Brush markers are a very light tip, and also my Distress markers are a lighter tip. They're not as hard as this one. And I have been practicing around with my lettering as well. So I did like the fact that this had the dual ends, and I really did like the colors. Now, because I had never had these before, I was lucky enough to have a friend who sent me just one of hers through the mail. So this took a while to try, and then I sent it back to her. And I really, really liked the watercoloring effect. So I went ahead and I bit the bullet and I bought the entire set. So in this set, I got 96 pens. I believe one of them is a colorless blender. And that's what it looks like. And also when you buy this set, you get the desk stand. So that came with it as well. And it's very easy to put together. It's just 4 little legs and a top. I don't know if I'm going to keep this stand. If I do keep it, it's going to get spray painted. I don't like the color gray. I don't like Battleship Gray. I just don't like the color. So I will be switching that out. Either putting it in a different container altogether. And you can store these either standing up or on their side. Either one. It doesn't matter. That's what the website says. And yeah, super, super cool markers. So I swatched them out for you guys. I'm going to show them to you. I just threw that box on the floor. So here's what they look like in the container. Now, they have, Tombow has a rainbow chart, a swatch chart, if you will, of these. So they are in order of that chart. That is the order that they're in. They're so pretty to look at, aren't they, guys? I'm just saying, I've got them stored behind me over there next to my Copics and my inks and stuff so that they're pretty to look at, which that just inspires me to create anyway. Seeing color inspires me. So super, super pretty. And I have swatched them out for you guys, so I just want to kind of show you. So that's what they look like from the top, all the colors. Now there are some cons about this that I don't like. All right, and here they are from the side in their little container. So a couple of things you need to know about these markers if you're going to get them. They do come in sets that are much smaller than this, sets of 10, I believe, and color families as well. I mean, you know, different, like brights, or, you know, they have different families of these 10 packs. You can get them at Michael's and Joann's, at least at my Michael's and Joann's. I'm not sure about Hobby Lobby, so that means you could use a 50% off coupon. They are about $39 at the local craft stores, which I just thought was insane. And they didn't have the entire sets anyway. They didn't have all of them, is what I'm saying. So I chose just to go ahead and get the entire set. From what I'm understanding, the markers, even if you're using them for, you know, our type of projects, art lettering, stuff like that, they're going to last you a couple of years. I don't know, though. I did not check. I don't believe that they're sold individually. I need to go to Dick Blick and see. Actually, they might be, now that I'm thinking about it. If they are, I'll leave that in the comments below. So let me show you the swatches. So it's really, I really like the holder. All right. What you need to know is that these, a lot like the distress markers, once you pull that cap off, if you just put the cap back on, it's not shut all the way. You really got to pop it in. All right. That's number one. The other thing, and that's not a con, it's just something you need to know, right? One of the things I don't like about it is there is no, first of all, they use a number system on their marker. Right. So like this is 991. Now, 991 is the actual color for 991 is light ochre, right? So the colors of these markers are the colors that you would find in real watercolors. So I like that, but there's no mention of the name on the marker. And also when you put these in their little container, it's impossible to see the numbers down in there. You've got to pull each marker out and look at it and then try to get it back in the hole. So I'm not as crazy about this setup as you would think you would be. It's pretty to look at, but it's not very functional. So I think what I'm going to do is print out on copy paper or cardstock or something little tiny numbers that correspond with each one of these and glossy accent them or glue them on the top of each one of these markers so that when I'm looking down at it, I can see the numbers, right? And then I have a chart that I'm going to show you. So that's my only con, is that there's no name, there's no color name on the marker, and there's no way of identifying that marker easily from inside this set. Also, I would have to say that in the color names, if you're looking on their chart, if you're looking at the names, I pretty much was able, by seeing the name, the watercolor name, to be able to pick out the marker without knowing the number. So that was interesting to me. There was only a few that was off, but not all of these caps represent the color that actually is on the cap. Now, a lot of them are very, 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 very similar. Like here's the water, here's the chart, here's this color. Most of them, I would say, are pretty spot on. I mean, they really do look, but a few do not, so you have to be careful of that. So I did test them out, and I have used them. I've had these, I've had them for, I think, 10 days or so before I'm showing them to you, because I really wanted to try them out and see if I like them. So again, that's what they look like. They are quite lovely to look at. I mean, seriously, just to look at them, they're very, very pretty, right? All right, and then I'm going to set them aside for a second, and I'm going to show you the chart. So this is not their chart. Their chart is actually a wheel. It's a circle, and I didn't feel that in that circle with all the writing I had enough space to do what I wanted to do to see the colors when I wanted to pick them out. So what I did is I found this chart on Pinterest, and I just printed it out. It's just a simple chart with all the numbers in the same order as the chart that Tombow has. And I swatched them out first on each one of the lines, and then I went back with my water brush and I brought the color out. And this was hours later, and the color still moved. It moved beautifully, actually. So I was able to move the colors out so I could see what they look like when I added water to them. I did that for each one of them. And that gave me a great sample card to put in my book so that I can pull it out and see, you know, the colors and have a better idea of each project, what I wanted to use it for. Now, I noticed two things I noticed. One, when you did go back and do that, you did get that line, right? The watercolor line. That happened with almost every single dark pigment. Not so much the light pigments, but the dark pigments. And I'm actually okay with that. I don't mind that at all. I like that line. So in my style, I really like seeing those lines in my watercolor. And I know that if you didn't leave it there, if I had used it wet and brought it over wet, it wouldn't be there. So I don't mind seeing that on this swatch because I know how to fix it. What else can I tell you about them? They are not light fast. They are activated by water, which I've already told you. You can use the blender pen to move it around as well. I have not done that yet. And this is the first, when I first opened them up, I did this little swatch with just a few colors. And again, beautiful. These colors are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And at first glance, guys, it looks like my high dollar watercolors. I'm going to be very honest. At first glance, they really do. A lot of them are super transparent, as you can see. You can see through them. They're just really pretty. So I would say for a relatively inexpensive set of 10, if you're buying the markers in sets of, I think they come in sets of 10, and you use a coupon, that's a great way to go, right? So I just thought I would share this with you guys, give you my thoughts. You're going to be seeing them in upcoming videos, so I wanted to go ahead and get this video released for you today so that you would know what I have in my arsenal when you start seeing me pull from it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.